Most people, right? Right? A little hard to manage that big circle, right? Hi, Janice. Okay, so first we're going to get started. Did anybody hear the Doobie Brothers playing? Did anybody move any feet at all? I'm just checking. I can't hear the Doobie Brothers and not move something. That's all I got to say. Okay, so Carlos, where are you? Come on up, Carlos. Carlos is your your leadership council. He is the secretary. He is the creator extraordinaire. So, Carlos, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we can expect here at Pacific Coast?
Sure. So, let's bring this up.
You pull up.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the conversation of change. Reverend Bobbi is going to be facilitating today, asking a few questions, and in each one of our groups, we're going to get to answer some of those questions in the smaller groups and then sharing in the larger group. So, are we ready for that? Yes. All right, sounds good. I'm excited as well. Should I go into the announcements? All right, and before we get started, we're going to go into some announcements fairly quickly.
Do they want to hear this?
Do you guys want to hear this?
Do you want to hear this?
Do you want to know what's going on in the community?
Yeah? There's so much going on, isn't there, Carlos?
Oh my gosh,
oh my
yes.
gosh.
Get ready for it. All right, so if you are parked behind someone, please fill out a card with your name and cell phone number. Place the card on the windshield. That way, if we need you to move your car, we can call you and ask you to do so, just in case you're blocking anyone in the parking lot. For First Sundays, potluck, join us for potluck Sundays on the first Sunday of every month.
So I'm guessing that also means that they love it when people bring food and the fellowship team doesn't have to do it all. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
So next Sunday is Fellowship Sunday, so bring something that nobody has to cut up for you. Okay? They don't want to cut it up. They don't want to cut your carrots and your celery and all that kind of stuff. So bring something that they can just put out and just be super happy about, right?
That's right.
And they need help cleaning up afterwards. Trash and dishes. Not a lot. Right. It's not like home.
Thank you, Reverend Bobbi. We've also been sharing this reminder every week. We're excited, and please bear with us. The slides are a little shaky this morning. We're excited to share that the Leadership Council has unanimously approved Reverend Veronica Silva to serve as our new senior minister beginning September. Let's see. She's been walking this journey with us in leadership and love, and now steps fully into this new role.
So we have some dates. Do you want me to do the dates since it keeps moving?
Sure.
All right, so June 8th, how many of you are official members of Pacific Coast CSL? You will be doing an affirmative vote on June 8th, okay? My last Sunday is September 21st, so I'll be doing a nice little, see you guys, enjoy your new minister, and then Janine will be down here for that, and so we'll have a little party that day, okay?
Awesome. And who participated in the last Duffy Boat fundraiser? Raise your hand. How was that? Yeah? Good. So we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again on Sunday, June 8th from 2 to 4. There's space for 14 passengers and 2 boat operators.
No?
Oh.
12?
12? 12? Okay. 12.
Okay, we're just reading it.
Space is obviously very limited, so sign up ASAP. Steve and Lily Wells will be our boat captains. It is $50 per person, and this includes the boat ride and light refreshments. The money earned will be used to purchase a beautiful new drinking fountain for a Precious Center.
Carlos, did you say live refreshments?
Light.
Oh, good.
Yeah, hopefully not live.
You get my question, right?
Also, huge thank you to Steve and Lily Wells for sponsoring this event. We're very grateful for your kindness and generosity. Let's see. All right, and so for those of us dealing with some challenging feelings or emotions like anger or frustration, join us for an amazing offering with Tenzin Chogi as she brings mindfulness and emotions to our center. The Cultivating Emotional Balance training was sparked during a meeting between behavioral scientist, a neuroscientist, a monk, a philosopher, and the Dalai Lama in 2000.
No. And the reason it won't be recorded is because there's experientials and people will be sharing vulnerable information. Now, does that mean we might not record her talk? We might do that, but we just can't record the folks' participation in the workshop. I asked her about that. Thank you for that question.
The slides are doing something weird. All right. Combining contemporary scientific research with contemplative practices drawn from Buddhism, the Cultivating Emotional Balance training gives participants new tools for working with emotion. In this day-long workshop, you'll be introduced to some of the key components of this training, including understanding how emotion works and how they can work and not for and not against us, recognizing and working with emotional triggers, managing difficult emotions such as anger, increasing compassion for the self and others, cultivating genuine happiness and mental balance. This training will include lectures, meditations, and experiential learning in small and large groups. Cost is only $45, and tickets go on sale at the end of next week, May 16.
So they're already on. They're already for
on
sale. Yeah.
So go get it.
And by the way, anybody in the room having anger right now? Just curious. If you are, if there's some anger in you that just isn't getting released, this is a good workshop.
All right, and now thank yous. So we wanted to thank Jesse for teaching the class on Tuesday night in place of Reverend Bobbi. Thank you, Jesse. And also April, thank you for leading Zoom today.
Thank you, Carlos,
Thank you, Rev.
leadership council person extraordinaire. So, for some reason, does anybody know if Mercury's in retrograde today? Anybody? I knew somebody would know the answer to this, right? Diane said yes. Whose retrograde is it in? Okay. Because for sure it's this iPad. The slides are just kind of moving and we're not even sure why. We've checked everything. So if it happens, bear with us, okay? Okay, we're going to move to a check-in. So one of the things that we do as part of the community is the big focus is a program we use called the CARE model. And the CARE model is where care is the priority over getting it done. Now, for a girl who likes to get her done, it's like, oh, let's just get it done. Let's just get it done. But in spiritual community, which I think the world would probably be a better place if we focused on caring for one another. Right? So what we're going to show you is a little bit of the CARE model. So in your groups, and if your facilitators could just raise their hands so you know who they are at your group. Thank you, thank you. We're going to move into dyads. Dyads are dialogue between two people. So we're going to do a little check-in. The first thing we're going to say is, what is a word of good for today? Something good for today: love, connection, community, abundance, wisdom, joy. By the way, your brain is always going to go, what's wrong first? Right? Mine does. I'm an Enneagram 1. I can find everything wrong in the first 5 seconds, you know. So I have to train my brain, constantly. Keep working with it to find the good first. So what's a word of good? Make it about 20 seconds to your dyad partner, share, and then have the other person share. If you do not understand what they're saying, ask them to explain. If it's not clear to you. We're learning to dialogue. That's a lot about what 4 Sundays are, learning to dialogue. So go ahead with your partner. Choose a partner real quick. Word of good, 20 seconds and then switch. Seconds each. Way to go, Jess. Facilitators, make sure you share your word of good today as well. I need someone up here. I need one. Can you be in this group? Okay. Did you have words of good? Did you find a word of good? You're still finding words of good. Or you're using words of good. All right. You guys are good teenagers. Some of you. Okay. Now we go to the next one is there any heaviness of heart or hardness of head? Heaviness of heart, is there something just pulling at me today? Hardness of head, am I just sitting stuck in something? Stubborn or stuck? Either one, or any version of that. So you're going to share not the whole story, and I know there's the inclination to do so. Because, man, we are storytellers. That's our DNA, right? We got to tell our whole story. We need you to bottom line the story for today. Can you bottom line the story? Okay. So share with your dyad the bottom line of heaviness of heart or hardness of head in the way of being here today, or you just feel like sharing, you're going to get about 30 seconds. That's it. Ready? Go. 30 seconds each. I'm waving to that group over there. And you, Wanda. I'm here. Okay, you should be closing that story up now. If you haven't gotten to the bottom line, get to the bottom line. Hey, Dory, it's good to see you online. All right, we're done. It's either peace or two, or something else, Lauren. I've taken 4 agreements 100 times. I don't care, right? Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, your facilitators, if you will ask your group if there is anything that they would like prayer for, and Rachel's going to come up and give that prayer. So it means something you need prayer for today because it's in the way. Okay? It's just in the way today. Hold on. Well, I'll ask you. Hold on. Okay. So can I start over here? What do we have over here? Belinda, what would you like prayer for? Communication with caregivers for her mom. Any more here? Yes.
I need a prayer because my friend's husband is very ill. He's in the way of being present.
Okay. A friend's husband is ill and it's in the way of you being present. Okay. Anyone here? I'm going to ask the facilitator. Who's the facilitator? Did you collect them? Do you have them? Anxiety and fear over a business decision. Your dad. Got it. I'm going to pause. Got it? What you got, Chris? Just for the world. Let's just call a master prayer going on right here. Max, what do we have here?
Health and health.
Health and health. I like it. I like it. Yes, Carlos.
Letting go
Letting go
and gratitude.
and gratitude. Oh, nice. Janice?
We have physical pain
Mm-hmm.
and hardness of heart from being separated from family.
Physical pain and hardness of heart separated from family. Did I capture that? Good. Yes, Marjorie. Divine right order for a friend who's moving and family issues. Relationships. Okay. Is there one in the back online? Energy.
Okay, I invite you. Oops, can you hear me? Oh, okay. So I ask us now to take a moment to gather all the excitement and the electricity of our energy and bring it into one glorious breath that we take in with consciousness, with awareness, with knowing that this is a true gift that keeps us alive, that keeps us awake and aware and ready to receive all the good that exists flowing unending throughout our lives. And as we breathe that out, let us know that we are at rest, at one, in one place. As I open to the knowing that there is one power, one grace, one divine energy that is the allness of the universe, that is a part of who I am, that is what I came from, what I exist within, and where I am going. Every second, every breath. And that is the same for each and every person here. That we are one with that which is divine, perfect, whole, and complete. And through that, I know that all those who are troubled by health issues, by physical frailties, and not feeling their wholeness, that the truth is that in this one mind there is nothing but wholeness, goodness, oneness. And we know the power of that as we allow it to flow through every cell and joint and muscle and every structure of our physical being, and also of our mental and emotional well-being, that there is a wholeness that flows unending throughout all of the parts that make us whole. So we know our wholeness, and in this knowing, we open up and trust that everything we need is coming to us, is right here, right now, available to us. So all those who are feeling any sort of separation and grief about a loved one, whether it's a friend or a family, any relationship at all, let us just surround that in the wholeness and the oneness and the allness of God, knowing that divine right action is at work, flowing through it right now, and that we know the peace of God, the peace that surpasses understanding. We have that within us, and it flows in, through, and around us and affects everyone in our circle. And knowing that we can open and trust in the abundance of the universe, because there is that allness of God that is always working for us and never against us. So we rely on it. We draw our support from it, knowing that it is always our best and highest good, and that it flows through and appears as order and balance. And we feel the joy and the peace and the comfort that comes from knowing that we always have something to rely on that never, ever goes away. This is our true support. No matter what it looks like, it is there for us, working through us, as us. And as we open up to this, any health challenges that we may be experiencing, or someone we know and love and care for, all of that is under the umbrella of divine right order. As again, we let go, we trust in the allness and the wholeness of this divine power that is who we are. It never goes from us. We are always connected and one with that power. And letting go into all of this, if there is anything that I have left out, let us know that it is joining in this prayer for the good of all, for the knowing that we take that higher vision of who we can be, who we were put here to be, and we allow it to unfold gracefully, beautifully, and effortlessly. And so in love and in compassion and in wholeness, we know that there is truth in every single word spoken. And I allow it to be as I let it go, absolutely knowing that all that I have said is already done. And please join me in saying, and so it is.
Just needed to move back a little bit so I can keep my eye on these two groups up here. Okay, so today's about dialogue, and some of the things that we try to practice here is we agree to listen and not fix. So hard to do. If you're dialoguing with a friend, you want to advise them because I know better. Right? And so I just encourage you to not. to not do it. When you speak from I. There's, I do this sometimes myself. I'll say, you should, we should. Stay with I. I am, I will, I should. Whatever that is. Speak for yourself when you come up and share or when you share in the group. Agree to love and accept myself and others as they are. Can we try to practice that today? If we can practice it here today, we can practice it out there, right? Stay present in the now. If it is loving, if it grows, expands, or deepens love, it's the right thing to do. That's kind of the easy phrase around that. So the intention, although when I asked you to do Word of Good is to listen, it is okay to ask follow-up questions. And so one of the things we try to practice as well is verbal responses. Restate what someone says as they're speaking it to you. Don't state what you want them to say. Oh, is this what you really meant? I did that once to my wife. Didn't work well. So just restate what you hear. Let the other person tell you. Validating, affirming. If something resonates with you, just, boy, I hear you. That's all you have. You don't have to say much more than that. These are some of the ways we do that. Nodding, soft eye contact, gentle smile, pausing before responding is really great nonverbal listening. It can be that simple. So that's what you get to practice today, okay? Let's talk about change. Now, I'm going to ask this question. How many of you love change? Okay, you're laughing. All kinds of change? Of course not. Of course not. I love change, and then all of a sudden something shows up, right? So we're going to have a couple folks come up here right now, and they're going to demonstrate how we deal with change generally. Come on up, Debbie Ann and Chris. These folks are not members of SAG, but I promise it will be interesting.
Not yet.
Right after
Not
this.
yet. Yeah. Okay. Did you hear? Things are changing again.
I think you're reading a different script.
Oh. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is part of it.
This is how we work on
No,
All right.
she's one. Are you one? Do you have one? Do you have one?
No,
These are
I'm
different-
Script,
these are different.
I have script too.
Okay.
We'll just use one. We're good.
All right, do it.
All right. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Everything feels different, and not in a let's try a new flavor of tea kind of way. More like I woke up and someone rearranged my entire life without asking.
Oh, totally. I totally felt that. But I'm starting to wonder, what if different isn't bad? What if it's just different?
Nope. No, my brain says different equals danger. I like routine. I like knowing what's next. I like control.
I get that. I do. I really do. But change doesn't wait for us to approve of it. It just happens. The question for me is, can we meet it with curiosity instead of panic?
I tried that once. Then I curled up with snacks and Netflix because curiosity didn't come with a clear action plan.
Okay, that's fair. But maybe curiosity isn't about having the plan. Maybe it's about staying present long enough to find new ground beneath our feet.
New ground sounds shaky.
Yeah, it might be. But also, it might be sacred. Change always brings choice. Resist it or process it.
So you're saying I have a choice?
Always, my friend. And today we get to explore that choice together.
Debbie Ann and Chris, can I have you grab each grab one of those mics, and I'm going to have you walk around the room. So, what is your feeling about how that script played out? How this dialogue, does it feel familiar? Raise your hand. Don't speak out unless you're on the mic, because our Zoom folks can't hear you, and guaranteed no one else in the room either. Okay.
Hi, it was really good. I started to feel like this is how I communicate sometimes. I always want to fix. And I think that was great information that the friend was giving. However, it's like, well, if I wanted a therapist, I would have went to one. It's like, I just want you to hear me.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to switch it up here. Carlos and Jesse, please come up. Do you guys have one or two? Now I'm just confused.
I had to.
Have them read the one you didn't read.
Right. Got it.
But you're A and I'm B,
Got it.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Cool.
SAG, again, no,
Again.
but real close.
Real close.
Did you hear? Things are changing again.
I knew it. Just when I got used to how things were, can we not? I've met my quota for change for the decade.
Same. I say we just ignore it and hope it goes away. That's worked for me. Almost never, but still.
Right? Right. Or better yet, complain about it loudly to everyone we know, not to make the change better, just to make sure everyone knows we're not okay with it.
Exactly. Like, if I can be comfortable, no one should be comfortable.
Yeah. And don't forget step 3, try to take control of everything. Micromanage, overthink, and plan 10 backup plans. Even if we have no idea what we're planning for.
Oh, and step 4, pretend everything's fine while clearly melting down inside. I like to call that spiritually bypassing with a smile.
Oh, yeah. Nailed it. So, what's the actual plan?
Honestly, I'm hoping someone in this workshop has a better way to handle change. Because I'm fresh out of denial, and my backup plan is snacks.
Snacks. I love snacks. But yeah, maybe today's the day we stop pretending we've got it all together and actually learn something new. Let's face it, most of us have tried one or all of these approaches. But what if there's a more compassionate, spiritually grounded way to meet change? Not with panic or pretense, but with presence. That's what we'll explore together today.
Carlos and Jesse, could you grab a mic while you're just hanging out? And so how's that script feel? Practice any of that stuff? Anybody? Anybody want to say anything about it? Oh, Florette, this will be good.
Well, I saw myself.
She's still laughing. Still.
The complaint and the worry and 10 different plans along the way. I catastrophize
Yeah.
and think of solutions for every which way my worry or
The all what ifs, what if, infinitum. Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, go on over here.
Over here and then there.
Me at snacks but luckily, I aborted that last night. I almost told my husband, go down to the Marina liquor store and get me a Magnum, because I was dealing with...
What is a Magnum? Just because there are two kinds of Magnums I'm familiar with. Maybe three.
Well...
Anybody else in the room?
Well...
You mean the ice cream?
Well, yeah.
Maybe
actually,
not.
I went to Magnum PI to Tom Selleck actually with that, but this Magnum is loaded with caramel, chocolate on the outside, and vanilla ice cream on the inside, and it's go-to for when I don't want to deal with anything, and I pass out from it. So this was. I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah, don't you? Got it. Anyone? Oh, over here. Thank you. Ryan?
Thank you, Carlos and Jesse. What came up for me is that I get to be cautious when I'm in agreement with the person next to me. I have to be cautious because there are times when we're in agreement against something else. And that's easy for me to slip into. If I can be in agreement about love and connection and community and efforts to do that, as opposed to, yeah, that over there, it's terrible, over there, it's bad. And the person talking to me is just like, yeah, no kidding. All of a sudden, Farini talks about it, the tyranny of agreement, that I have to be careful when I'm in agreement with somebody that it's not against someone else.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. Anyone else want to admit something? I'm just kidding. It's not that kind of room, but yeah. Okay, so I love this cartoon, which is, want to change? No thanks. We'll just keep using these square wheels, right? So sometimes that happens, right? It's not familiar. I don't know what it's going to be, and the brain is wired for something I'm going to talk about a little bit. So let's do a little popcorn, and April, let's have the online crew do this too, which is, what's one word that describes how you feel when change happens unexpectedly? So when you say, oh, I love change, I'm not talking about that kind of change that you love, okay? Because that kind of change is not necessarily, it might be unexpectedly, and maybe that's good too, but what happens in the unexpectedly what's your word to describing how you feel? Can you try that? We're just going to do a little popcorn word. The mics. Can I have a couple people help me with mics, facilitators, please? One word. How do you feel?
Unsettled.
Unsettled. That's a good word. Over there, still at that group.
Fear.
Fear?
Fear, afraid.
Faith.
Afraid.
Faith.
Cautious.
I love that word.
Fearful.
Oh,
Victimized.
sorry. Sorry.
Paralyzed.
Paralyzed?
Frozen and paralyzed at the same time.
Whoa. Meeting of the mind.
Powerful.
Anxiety.
Anxiety.
Angst.
Oh, you guys think we share some common experience, right?
Calamity.
Did you say calamity?
Calamity.
This one comes from Reverend Juanita. Frickin'.
Frickin'. Do you say frickin'? Freaking? Okay, he said it. It's got to be true.
We got one over here.
Resistance.
I double that. Anxiety.
Anxiety? And then over there, did I see one?
Uninformed.
Uninformed. You feel uninformed. Got
Okay,
it.
we got one here.
Lack of control.
Lack of...
Control.
Oh, yeah. Right? Because I got to have control. Right?
Anticipation.
Anticipation. One in the back.
Confused.
Confused. April? Yeah, we're working on it.
Dory said breathe.
Is that what you feel when you're in change you don't like? Okay, we'll come back. Travis?
Rebellious.
Not shocking, Travis.
We got one over here.
Betrayed.
Betrayed. Oh, that might win. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Right? How dare you change on me? Right? Betrayed. Ooh. Any more? One last one. Over here? Irene?
Stubborn.
Stubborn. Never. I'm never stubborn. Don't say that. Right? I'm going to turn the air on. Is anybody else warm? Yes. I know. I kept thinking about it. Do you know how to do it? Okay. So, change brings up a lot, and right now there's a lot of change happening. I'm having a lot of change in my own life, right? Decided to move across the country and retire. Leave friends, family, have a whole and completely new life, and try not to feel completely guilty. Right? Sound about right? Yeah. Change happens, and sometimes we might feel something because we're initiating the change. Someone else is initiating the change. Some unknown is initiating the change, but change is constantly happening. Fair enough? Fair enough. And it isn't always easy. So what I'd love you to do is pick a partner, because we had a whole bunch of people walk in, didn't we? All right. Thanks for joining us. That's not a complaint. That's a thank you. So pick a partner and take a few minutes to talk about what has changed for me recently and how has it made me feel. Go.
I go into severe accident. Weeks ago, my
Go ahead and switch if you haven't already. Okay. All right. Let's come back to the room. Tony over on the side had 2 fingers up. She's so well trained. Or as the NBA, WNBA would say, let's do a 3-pointer right now, right? Okay, so let me remind you, if you share today, make sure you have a mic, okay? Because we have some folks online that cannot hear you, and some folks in the room cannot hear you. Fair enough? Great. Okay, so how'd you feel about the change going on? I'm going to ask you to share, if you're willing to, come up here and share, how is this change making you feel right now, or aiding your feelings? How is it triggering your feelings? Anybody? You want to come up? Not to worry.
I am Jackie. I'm one of the practitioners here.
Get in that mic.
Really? I was sharing with my partner that I'm in a place where I am stepping into retirement from being a nurse for over 40 years. And I mean, I thank you, but there's a fear. There is absolutely a fear. And diving into end-of-life doula. With all the, the things in place, it still is a level of fear and discomfort. It still is I have to, encourage myself, even as a practitioner, knowing and stepping into the knowing that everything is happening in divine right order, I still have discomfort and fear. So,
thank you, Jackie. Anyone else? Come on up.
This is the change. Part of the change is me getting up at a mic.
I know, getting up to the mic.
That is the worst thing. But I figure it will help.
Hold on there a minute, my friend.
Yes. I'm only 3.5 feet tall. So. Okay, retirement seems to be a theme, sort of, today. And I retired 8 months ago after having preschools and taking care of little ones for 48 years. I have no children. I have no grandchildren. I've already been over to the preschool twice. So I'm thinking of just working with children some other way, maybe Make-A-Wish or something like that, where I can be of service. And but feeling lost, like I don't know what will come next. Well, actually, it won't come next. I have to do something. And luckily, I'm a Gemini, and I'm told that I will go through all kinds of stuff, and then I will make up my mind, and that'll be it. So I'm not really afraid. I'm just kind of lost right now, empty a little bit.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Anybody else feeling that right now? Maybe, but come on up, Donna.
Hi, I'm Donna. I'm getting adjusted to this online world where I feel like I have to find a lot of solutions in my life for different organizations, my spouse and I, our business, everything. So, and just having to deal with like, oh, there's never a person available. They're back east, they're online, and oh, we'll get back to you. And there's essentially no help. So finding those solutions, I'm having an awfully hard time with that.
Thank you, Donna. Who else? Come on up.
Yes, retirement is a theme. Fortunately for me, I had a really great holistic guidance counselor, and I was able to plan retirement 5 years ago. And it was a great plan. Great plan. But it was all built with Post-it notes, so it was great, even better, because I could pull them all off. I go, no. I have been planning retirement now probably officially for 30 days, but unofficially for 6 months. And I started meditating, and I started with an affirmation that says, I embrace change. I welcome new ideas.
Okay.
And fresh perspective.
Okay.
And that has made all the difference in the world for me. There's still a little fear, but every time a change comes by, I have to remind myself that I embrace change and that is a good thing. And it's worked so far, so that's a good way to start.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. All right, one more. Come on up. Glenn.
This is this way?
See how the mic was? That way, it was kind of like this. So you come on this side so that camera can get you. Well, you could, but my camera guy won't like it.
All right. I'm in the right place? Okay. This has been a real big change for me. I decided to leave Texas, where my family lives, and come to California. And one of my influences is my best friend, Donnell. And we've known each other 20 plus years. She's probably now 40 and I'm 19, right? And anyway, one of the main things that helps open up, especially with her, I've had an issue with my family since young in my sexual preference. And they decided to do the Tough Love Act, and for 6 years I didn't see them. And they realized it didn't change. And right now, it's sorry that it took that long for them to say, put in their hands like this and invite me over, and we do things like that, but do not touch on that subject. And I've also had the fortunate opportunity of meeting a man and who's been previously married, had a child, has grandchildren. So he kind of falls along the line that I do and what I think of. It's a blend of, it's just people coming together. And we've been together for quite a number of years, and then I moved from California to Texas, and then Texas back here. Yeah, I had to get away from family. I love them to death, and they know it, but it's just like, you can't be there. And after being here for a little while, I did meet someone. And we've been together for enough time. And I'm one that I ask questions a lot. To me, it's not a yes, no, or a maybe. It's either a yes or it's a no. And we've decided to start our family, or start us together by living with one another, which is going to be happening very soon. And the family uses tactics like, we're going to use the tough love back, and we're going to abandon you, and when you decide to change your mind, come back. And so what I ask them is, I just tell them, thank you. Thank you for reminding me of someone whom I never want to become.
Glenn, how are you doing right now? How are you feeling with all this?
Actually, there's a little bit of sadness.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of
Yeah.
sadness because I love my family very much.
Sure.
And I would do anything for my brother, my sister, my parents. We were raised in South America, and there's a lot of Latin type love in there. Like,
yeah, and let me just invite you. There's folks in the room who've had a similar experience. Yes? Yes. And so I just encourage you to reach out to folks, who've had this experience, and they can support you. Okay?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Glenn. Thanks for sharing. So, interesting about how our nervous system is wired for the familiar. Our nervous system doesn't like change. And so what happens in the nervous system, I am not a professional around this, I just have a lot of experience with it, okay? Is that it's important for us to interrupt the things that we think, the triggers on the outside, they are not triggers. It's inside that the trigger lives. And so, but the nervous system responds to anything that might be deemed unsafe. So I want you to imagine all the things that we've spoke today about the change that is, or whatever you spoke about change today. Imagine folks 120 years ago talking about what scares them. You know, cholera, polio, a lot of health, wars. We have wars now, but wars on soil. Things that typically were, I would say, probably a little bit more extreme than probably what we have. The things about the what if, when we're afraid of change, are we afraid of things shifting and me having to shift? Because what does that mean if I have to shift? And yet, that's kind of all we got, isn't it? Because change just happens. It just happens, and it happens all the time. So, if we know that our nervous system is wired to respond this way, we can work with it. We can work with it. We can be the observer of it rather than be the one that is pushed down the rabbit hole by it. Be the observer of it. So let's try a couple of questions. And this is going to ask you to get a little vulnerable. But you've been getting vulnerable. And by the way, if you're sitting there talking to your spouse, I almost want you to move to a different person, if you are. If you're sitting there with someone that just knows you so well, it's unimaginable. And the reason I say that is because you want someone to hear it who has not heard it. And it's just a good way of dialoguing you. Just a suggestion, you don't have to do it. And I don't know who in the room is married. Well, I know some are. So, what do you usually do when you feel uncomfortable with change? Something's changing. Something's shifting. The kind of shift that I may not like. Do I avoid, fix, deny, control? And then I want you to just stay with that question. Will you do that for me? Just stay with the first question. So go ahead and back to your dyads, and let's take about 5 to 6 minutes and talk about that. done? Do you consider your answer? Terry. You got about 30 seconds. Not yet. I'm going to hold that one. Okay, you've talked about question 1. Let's just bring you forward. I'm not going to ask you question 2 right now. Go ahead, Lauren. Awesome. Marjorie and Janice and Terry are going to come up and talk about the answer to both questions. I put them on the spot.
Yes. Well, you know, I'm a number 1, which they call the perfectionist. I've got a new coin for that, practicing excellence.
Oh, Marjorie. Mic drop.
I'm trying to let go of that. But let me tell you, I'm also a recovering control-holic. So when change happens, I get really uncomfortable and I want to fix it. And sometimes when I go into fix-it mode, my thinking brain goes offline and I go into immediate fix, not planning, just let's fix it right now. And I'm going to do it because I can do anything.
Do you have a roll of tape in your pocket? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the fix-it. I know one of the ways I can stop that is just by taking a long, deep breath and allow myself to recenter. I sometimes do it, but definitely not all the time, because those triggers hit and it just makes me want to fix it.
Marjorie, love your vulnerability. Totally. Marjorie will just admit to everything up here. Thank you. Who are you?
My name's Terry Anderson, and I'm on the leadership council of this community. So, yeah, I resemble a lot of what Marjorie said. I don't embrace change like I would like to. I do control it. I do fix it. It's a great motivator for me. But, you know, I have discovered in looking back at life that all the times where I actually had instances requiring dramatic change, those have been the times that I've grown the most. I've discovered my strengths. I've discovered what I want. It is amazing. And in retrospect, I bless each change, each challenge that I've faced. I just need to do that on an ongoing basis to recognize it as I'm going through today's change. So, as Marjorie had stated and others, you recognize the feeling and just pause and just realize, oh, I have options here. So, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Terry. If you haven't had a rib cracked by Terry, make sure you get one on the way out.
Yes. I notice that it's my traditional response. If something, the bigger the issue, the more stunned and quiet and somewhat paralyzed I become. I have to just let it sit for a few minutes and or hours or overnight. And usually what happens for me to kind of get my head around things is I need to cry. It kind of almost feels like a sponge that's been soaking up, and I just need to, you know, squeeze out the emotion. And it's kind of funny, like my husband will want to comfort me, and we've been together long enough to where he now knows that if I just say, no, I'm just squeezing my sponge, I'll be fine in a minute. And he'll let me just cry it out, and then I calm down, and I can be okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Janice. You know, Ernest Holmes says life is always for us, even when it's changing form. Do you agree with that statement? Do you really agree with that statement? Do you always agree with that statement? No. But, you know, intellectually, this totally makes perfect sense. And I think what's interesting about this movement we call science of mind, which is what we teach here, which is really just science of how our mind works from a spiritual standpoint, is that it's a very heady philosophy. Super heady. I can sit and theorize and philosophize all day. And when it comes right down to how this plays out in my life, there's the work. So I know that's true. Life is always for us. And sometimes I forget, because when change is happening, I'm thinking, oh, hell no. No. I'm not doing that. And I had that experience last year when I decided it was time to go. I did not want to do that. There was something in it I didn't want to do, but I had to figure out, well, what's the not want to do? What's the not wanna part? Because whatever's in that, this is why I don't want it, is because I'm afraid of something. And so I have to come to terms with, for me, I have to come to terms with what am I afraid of? Disappointing? Am I afraid of how that's going to look? I'm an Enneagram 1. For those of you that going, what is the Enneagram? Look it up. And so when we're going through something, including when we're prompted to make a change and we don't want to, I'd like to talk to you today about how we can walk through change a little bit easier. Are you interested in that? Okay, but before I get into it, does anybody want to share anything before I move on? Ray, I saw your hand up, but I was already moving. I'm asking you if you want to come up here.
I sense the invitation just a bit. Today was a challenging day for me. For me, I'm not so much, for me, I flip it. Obviously, there's many types of changes. We'll be talking about financial, emotional, job, whatever. For me, I'm more comfortable with change because there's a newness. It's asking a question of me. And in doing that, not only am I taking physical action, I'm taking emotional action. There's a neuroplasticity happening in my brain. Things are happening. I am more uncomfortable when things are changeless. When the status quo is there and I am just moving from one moment to the next, fixing breakfast, fixing lunch, doing laundry, doing this, that bores the hell out of me, and I feel a lot of me kind of dying.
Your spouse is in the back of the room making gestures.
I took notes when he was speaking. And I can always watch the tape on YouTube. No, and so this is something we were talking all the time.
No blackmail today. Yeah, no blackmail.
All the time we're talking about uncomfortableness, about change. I like change. Change asks something of me. I am less comfortable when things are comfortable and static, and I feel a bit of me kind of shutting down, and today was one of those days. I'm just in it. It was driving here, I felt like there was a hand pushing me, hoping I wouldn't find parking space or that nobody would talk to me. And then when I walk in and I see Care Circle Sunday, I was like, damn, I have to interact with people and stuff. But that second part of the question, what do I do when I'm feeling that way? I know myself enough as a gratefully recovering addict that which I find resistance to me is where I need to step in. And so I still found parking, and I found my way in here, and I found my way into a circle, and I found my way to the mic. Thank you, Spirit, and you for sensing that. And so I just wanted to add that little spin. Sometimes it's not change that I'm afraid of. It is the lack of change.
Yeah, and I think thank you, Ray. Before I move from that, there's something about that. Truly, in our culture, marginalized folks are going to want change. Why? Because if things stay the same, then life stays the same and folks suffer. And so there's also that, if you've been in the room and there's any part of you that has been marginalized, that is definitely part of the experience, for sure. I love change, right? And at the same time, sometimes change looks like it's going to be scary. And I think we spend a lot of time in what it's going to look like. If we don't agree with the administration right now, what's it going to look like? And if I'm afraid of what it's going to look like, then I'm not really able to step into the answer of what I would like to see, which isn't necessarily the best thing either. How can I be in it? And as long as I'm in that fear of where it's going, I can't find the answer for myself. So, facilitators, you have cards. So we're going to hand those out. There are 2 cards. This is what one card looks like. This is what the other card looks like. You have an orange one-side card and a blue one-side card. So just hold on to those. You're going to get lots of time to play with this one. So the practice in change that is the most powerful practice, you've heard a little bit of it because Marjorie said, let me just pause, right? Janice, let me just cry, because really that's a pause. I'm just going to feel it all, and I'm going to just let it all go so that I can get to whatever point it is I'm going to get to. And then there's Terry, who looks back at change too, and I love that. He said pause, but he also said, I look back and see how change has just been really helpful. I may not have liked it at the moment, and boy, wouldn't it be great if when the change is happening, I could respond differently. Wouldn't it be great? Okay, so practicing the present. So everybody look up. I know, it's funny when you hand something out, everybody wants to look down. I get it. So the first step of this is to notice. What is changing in my life right now? Just notice it. Now, the important part of noticing it is to not start characterizing it. The moment I start characterizing why that change shouldn't be is the moment I become the victim of that change. So if I can notice and be an observer, that just changes everything within me. So think of the change that's going on right now. One of the things we did a few months ago is when we tell our story, can I just speak the facts? Just the facts, not all the stuff I feel about it. The second step to this is name what emotion arises when you sit with this. Now, how many of you, I asked this earlier, how many of you are so good at feeling? And I mean an emotion other than anger. Right? Can you feel emotions other than anger? And that's not always easy. And think about it too, because in our culture, specifically an English language culture, English is not a language of feeling. It is a language of ideas. So if we could just move to Spanish or French, we'd be super good. Because those are languages of emotion. So can I name the emotion I'm feeling? So take the orange card. On the front, you have just a nice little quote I've given you. And on the back is a list of emotions. Now, I have found that when I don't know what I'm feeling... Wait, Chris, can you come up and say this? Because I've said this to Chris a few times. When I don't know what I'm feeling...
Pretend you're somebody else and ask, what do you think they would be feeling in this
Exactly.
moment?
That's one way. There's another way, which is, I don't know what I'm feeling right now, but what do I think I would feel about this situation? What do I think I might feel about it? Because sometimes we're so cut off from feelings. We're used to not feeling. But if I should be feeling anger right now and I'm not, might consider it. If I should be feeling frustrated, might consider it. Because until I can feel it, I can't get it out of my body. So can I notice the emotions? So I've given you a list of emotions. So can you look on that card with something you shared earlier and pick an emotion you felt, whether it is on the positive, uplifting side or challenging, tender side. And by the way, take a pen and write any other emotion that's not there. There's always more. Wait, there's more. For $19.99, you can get 2. Choose. What spiritual quality could support you here? What spiritual quality could support me here? Is it wisdom? I could always use a good dose of wisdom. Anyone else? Yeah, right? Is it courage? Do I feel like I don't have a voice? Do I need a little courage right now? And by the way, it takes courage to speak with wisdom, doesn't it, Juanita? It takes courage to be kind. No matter what's going on, it takes courage to be kind. Present, being present in the moment. Grace. When we talk about grace here, we mean that there is nothing to forgive here, really. We're all doing our best. Nothing to forgive. And the last is, can you allow grace to meet you in the moment? Can I just let it meet me here? About me. About me. So we're going to take the number 4. Yeah. We so often criticize where we're at and what's going on, that I've done something wrong. If I'm uncomfortable or if change is here, that it's wrong or I've done it wrong. So grace is, it's okay, Bobbi. That's the perfect example of grace. It's okay. It's okay. And we speak to ourselves about it being okay. Give ourselves compassion. So I'd like you to take a moment, and I'd like you to take the card with your partner, and I'm going to give you, now it's 12:25. Can you give me 10 minutes to finish this day up? Okay, because, you know, you guys talk a lot. So take 5 minutes total between you and talk about how you're applying this. How could you apply this with the situation that came up for you today? Okay? There we go. With your dyads. Go.
Can I sit with Grace or something?
Okay, let's come back. So, little two or peace or whatever. All right, how's that card for you? So one thing we do is from today, if you'd like to go deeper with the practice of this card, Rev Veronica holds, and Aaron, Dr. Aaron, there you are. There. When is it, the next one? First Wednesday of June. We'll make sure we have it next. It's June 1, 2, 3, 4. June 4th. June 4th. I just did the math, right? June 4th. If you want to take this practice a little bit deeper, you're like, you know what? I would love to go a little deeper with this card. I'd like to process through this change with others. Just join Dr. Aaron Rev Veronica on June 4th, and we'll have a slide next Sunday about that, because we always have a slide. That's how we do it. It is on Zoom. It's on Zoom. They're Wednesday night. And it's the first Wednesday of every month following Care Circle. So sometimes Care Circle there's still a week. It's still the first Wednesday of every month. Okay, so make sure you check in with them. I'm just going to ask this question as we close today. What do you want to remember from today when change shows up? Who would like to share? Please, Ryan, that hand went up so quick. I love it.
My name's Ryan, and I'm here with you. You had me at hello on this card. When I am uncomfortable around change, take a deep breath. Thank you. Thank you. I've been encountering change and overachieving and hyperventilating. So thank you. That's a great start for me. The rest is a gift, but that first one really got me. Thank you.
You're welcome, Ryan. Thank you. Anyone else? Please.
So I think this was very helpful for me. I really appreciated this process. And I think the choice, really allowing the spiritual qualities of really claiming my choice of what experience I want to have and how I want to feel spiritually supported on the inside in my heart. So taking a breath, really saying these statements like I choose surrender, I choose commitment, I choose presence, I choose receptivity, I choose courage, and then really feeling that in my heart and feeling that in my body all the way to my feet, and then taking the next step. And then if fear or anxiety comes up again, just returning back to that practice of the choice, breathing, feeling, anchoring, and then the next step. So
Thank you, Andrea. Appreciate that. Come on up. Yes, please clap for Andrea. Clap for anybody.
My name is Jill, and I was just thinking, I had an experience recently that made me
Move
think
right
of
up
this.
there, yeah.
Okay. I went to see my girlfriend in San Diego, and we were going to a grocery store after we were out, and I tripped, and I fell, and I kind of scattered forward, and I fell pretty hard. And so that was an immediate change, and I did not like that change. And I'm laying on the ground, know that I've hit my knee and I probably tore my pants and it's bleeding. And what I noticed is she's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Somebody runs out of the store, a couple stops, and they're waiting for me to be okay. And I was just like, "Give me a minute, just give me a minute, And I had to breathe through it. And I had to accept that it happened. up. I'm kind of heavy now. It's going to take a minute. And like, I couldn't be worried about if they were okay that I fell, you know? So it was like, just give me a minute. And like, you can go back in the store and, you know, and I had to breathe and I had to accept it. And I got up and I felt like I hurt a rib and it changed how that weekend went. But like, I had to take inventory, deal with it, and also say, you can't fix it. I'm not really going to be able to fix it. I got to stand up and then go through healing this. And I think that has a lot to do with what we're talking about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Come on up, Donna.
This was really big for me today because I didn't realize other people had a problem with change. So I'm not kidding. I love change. So, you know, there's a lot of things that are changing. It's small things, nothing big. And so even with my spouse, and I was like, what's wrong? Oh, we just have to find the solution. And, you know, he was having a hard time with it. And so here's the answer. So I'm going to remember that I have to be patient when other people have an issue with change. Thank you.
That's a really good point. Thank you. When we're going to close up here, but when someone else is going through change, our tendency to want to fix it for them is our discomfort with change, by the way. So it's really important to pause and let other people go through change themselves. We don't have to fix it, right? So let's just know that other people got this. Thank you for that. Okay, we're going to close today. So here's what I want to invite you to do. 2 things. Take this card, put it in your bed, next to your bed, put it in the bathroom, put it in your car. One good way to use this card, which I do when I do this, I did this last night because when I went to bed last night, I woke up in the middle of the night and I got homesick for my wife. And I just felt sad. And so one of the things I do is the same thing, which is just to notice it, not to run from it. Not to run from it, because the feeling actually goes away. And I say goes away, it starts to soften, and it turns into something else. And that's okay. It's a good thing I miss her, don't you think? It's a good sign. I think I'm doing something right here with her. So I say that because those things are okay, so let's use this through the week. And remember, the first Wednesday of the month, you can use the opportunity to sit with Dr. Aaron and Rev Veronica. So I'm going to invite the ushers to come forward. Today, I just want to, let's say some thank yous while the ushers are coming forward. First of all, our facilitators, thank you for taking care of our groups. And Chris and Debbie Ann and Carlos and Jesse, thanks for being our SAG folks today. We're turning in an application for you right now. Seriously, I'm going to send the video over to the office so that you can join. The last one is Matt in the back. Thank you for sound. April supporting our online group. And of course, our fellowship folks who are going to feed you some nice snacks. So make sure, for those of you that are super grateful to step up and help, is they need a little help during cleanup. So please make sure you help them. So while our folks are kind of handing those out, Matt, could you throw some music on for me? Try something soft today. So I want you all to take a deep breath. Let's take one more. Let's take another deep breath. Let's read this today. This is our affirmation for giving. This community does a lot. They do a lot. And it's an opportunity to be reciprocal and to participate in that reciprocal nature of the universe. So will you read this with me? Are you ready? Yes. Let's do this. We give with open hearts to this community with shared commitment and purpose. As we give, we prosper, cultivating growth, connection, and shared abundance for all. So thank you for being here today. Let's go ahead and bless this day and bless this practice, yes? This practice that allows us to step and change consciously. So this is what I know. So I want you to keep your eyes open, okay? Because that just seems wrong to keep your eyes open during a prayer, right? I'm all about doing it that way. I keep my eyes open because I actually want to see you. And I want to feel, I want to see the face of God that's mirroring back to me. So today, that's what we get to do. Okay, so you get to look at me, and you get to look around, and you get to share in the love that this prayer can bring, just because whenever we share our word, there's power in it. So one, I know. I know. I know that God is all there is. I know that. What is God? God is the action of the universe. It is a verb. God is a verb. Period. For me, a verb. Moving, creating, breathing, consciously, continuously present. And I am one with it. And I know that each person here is as well. So in gratitude for that, I just know and bless this day. Grateful for each voice that shared the story. Each voice that came forward vulnerably, that allowed the heart to open. For I know today that there was this big heart opening in this room that said, yes, I will practice this. Yes, I will step into something and I will interrupt old patterns. I will interrupt old patterns. And I will allow myself with grace and love to be okay with where I'm at right here and right now. That I'm right where I am is okay. I don't have to be anything else. Nothing else. Breathe that. Right now, right where I'm at is good. And I accept that as a prayer, knowing that it is so fun to be here with everyone and to share in the joy of gathering. So smile, breathe, and so it is. Thank you, everyone.